All right, listeners, ready for a deep dive into a resume?
That reads more like an adventure novel.
Oh, yeah.
Today, we are going to be exploring the career of Lev Neymotin, CEO,
With a background that spans mechanical engineering.
nuclear safety, and international diplomacy.
Wow.
Buckle up. This is going to be a wild ride.
Now I gotta admit.
Even glancing at this resume makes my head spin a little bit.
What was your first impression when you took a look at this?
It paints a picture of incredible adaptability, honestly.
It's not just the sheer range of fields.
He's worked in from fluid dynamics to nuclear security,
Right.
but how he's constantly reinvented himself to meet the changing demands of the world.
It's fascinating.
Yeah, let's start with the early chapter, shall we?
Neymotin got his PhD in Kazakhstan
Worked in Russia and later collaborated extensively with Russian scientists.
on nuclear non-proliferation.
Talk about an international journey.
This international thread isn't just biographical.
It's deeply woven into his work.
Just look at his publication list.
Yeah.
He's co-authored papers with researchers from all corners of the globe.
Clearly, collaboration has been key to his success.
And speaking of those publications, over 79.
That's not just a long career, that's a prolific one.
Wow.
But before we get lost in the titles,
Let's zoom in on a few specific projects.
mentioned in his resume,
Right.
for instance, he worked on the liquid metal blanket.
For a tokamak thermonuclear reactor.
Now I know we have some science buffs listening.
But for the rest of us, what exactly is a tokamak?
Imagine a device that can create and contain a superheated plasma,
Matter so hot that electrons are stripped from atoms.
creating a sort of electrically charged gas.
That's a tokamak.
Essentially a magnetic bottle holding a mini sun right here on Earth.
Wow.
The energy potential of fusion is mind-blowing.
And this liquid metal blanket Neymotin worked on.
It wasn't just theoretical.
It was a crucial step towards making fusion power a reality.
So he's potentially helping to solve one of humanity's biggest challenges.
Clean energy.
But then there's this entry about implementing MCNA upgrades at Russian nuclear facilities.
What's the story behind that?
Think of it this way.
Imagine a high-security warehouse for something incredibly valuable.
That's what MCNA, or Material Control and Accountability,
Is for nuclear materials.
Every gram needs to be tracked meticulously to prevent anything from going missing.
In the post-Soviet world, ensuring the security of these materials was absolutely critical.
And Neymotin was right on the front lines of that effort.
So from harnessing fusion power to safeguarding nuclear materials.
This is already sounding less like a career and more like a mission.
Yeah.
And I see he also served on the advisory committee for the mathematics department at Farmingdale State College.
It seems like he's got a strong commitment to education as well.
Absolutely. This isn't just about professional achievements.
It speaks to a broader commitment to knowledge and mentorship.
It's a reminder that even while tackling complex scientific challenges...
He never lost sight of the importance of nurturing the next generation of thinkers.
Okay, let's dive into those intriguing publication titles.
One that really caught my eye
Was Turbulent Mixing of Co-Current and Countercurrent Flows. What kind of flows are we talking about here?
Imagine two rivers meeting,
One flowing fast, the other slow.
maybe even in opposite directions.
Understanding how these flows mix.
The turbulence, the swirling eddies, is crucial for everything from
Designing efficient power plants.
predicting how pollutants might spread.
So even seemingly abstract research can have very real-world applications.
Absolutely.
And then there's this one.
Simulation of turbulent mixing on the basis of vortical motion of ideal fluid.
This sounds incredibly complex.
It was cutting-edge work, no doubt.
Think about the swirling patterns you see in a river.
Or even in your coffee cup.
Okay.
Those are vortices, and they play a huge role in how fluids mix.
Neymotin was using computer simulations to understand these complex dynamics.
Potentially paving the way for more efficient designs in everything from airplanes to pipelines.
Wow, and here's a title that hints at Neymotin's involvement in the policy side of nuclear science.
Cost-benefit analyses, supporting NRC and DOE regulations.
This is where we see him grappling with the real-world implications of nuclear technology.
It wasn't just about the science. It was about finding that delicate balance between safety
and the economic realities of implementing regulations.
This is incredible.
We've only just scratched the surface of Lev Neymotin's career.
And it's already clear that he's not afraid to tackle big questions.
But there's so much more to uncover.
Let's take a moment to reflect on this initial phase of his journey.
What's the key takeaway for you so far?
I think what strikes me is his unwavering focus on solving real-world problems.
even when those problems require diving into the most complex scientific principles.
He's not just an academic. He's a problem solver, a bridge builder.
Between the world of theory and the practical challenges facing humanity.
It's inspiring to see that kind of commitment, and there's so much more to explore.
Stick with us as we delve deeper into the later chapters of Lev Neymotin's remarkable career.
And remember that publication title we touched on earlier?
Oh, yeah.
Unintended radiation exposures to embryos, fetuses, and breastfed children.
Resulting from medical administrations to pregnant or breastfeeding patients?
Yes. It definitely stuck with me.
It seems to highlight a different facet of Neymotin's work.
A deep concern for the human impact of radiation.
Even in controlled environments.
Exactly.
This wasn't just about big reactors and global threats.
It was about understanding the subtle, often overlooked risks
that could affect the most vulnerable among us.
It speaks to a real sense of responsibility.
A commitment to protecting not just the present, but future generations.
This focus on the human element is really striking.
It's like he's constantly asking,
what does all this complex science ultimately mean for people?
Yeah.
And speaking of shifts,
we can't ignore the fact that Neymotin's career takes a pretty dramatic turn later on.
Yeah.
He moves away from reactor safety
and dives headfirst into the world of nuclear non-proliferation and international security.
It's a fascinating transition.
And one that makes perfect sense when you consider the geopolitical context of the time.
Right.
The Cold War was ending, and with it came a whole new set of challenges.
Suddenly, the focus wasn't just on preventing accidents.
It was about securing loose nukes, preventing proliferation.
And building trust in a world that was rapidly changing.
It must have been a turbulent time for someone with his expertise.
Oh, yeah.
I'm imagining a lot of high-stakes meetings, delicate negotiations.
Maybe even a few close calls?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Neymotin was uniquely positioned to navigate this new landscape.
He had the technical knowledge,
the experience with international collaboration,
and a deep understanding of the political sensitivities involved.
His resume mentions managing projects for both the Department of Energy
and the National Nuclear Security Administration during this period.
What kind of work might he have been involved in?
Think about the challenges of the post-Soviet world.
Dismantling nuclear arsenals, securing materials that were suddenly vulnerable,
and preventing them from falling into the wrong hands.
Right.
This work demanded a delicate balance of technical expertise and diplomatic finesse.
A combination that seems to be a hallmark of Neymotin's career.
So he's going from designing safer reactors
to preventing nuclear terrorism. That's quite a leap.
It is, but it's also a testament to his adaptability.
He wasn't content to rest on his laurels.
He saw where the world needed him most and jumped right in.
It makes you wonder, what kind of impact did he have on the global stage?
Are there specific achievements or breakthroughs we can attribute to his work in nuclear non-proliferation?
That's a great question.
And one that's difficult to answer definitively.
The world of international security is often shrouded in secrecy.
And successes are rarely publicized.
Right.
But we can look at the broader trends of that era.
The decline in nuclear arsenals, the strengthening of international safeguards.
And see the fingerprints of individuals like Neymotin,
who work tirelessly behind the scenes.
It's a bit humbling, isn't it?
Realizing that there are these unsung heroes working to prevent global catastrophes.
Yeah.
And we might never even know their names.
It is, but it's also a powerful reminder
that even in the face of seemingly insurmountable challenges,
individuals can make a difference.
And Neymotin's story is far from over.
You're right, because after all that,
he takes another dramatic turn
and becomes a CEO.
Talk about a plot twist.
This is where we see his entrepreneurial spirit emerge.
In 2015, he founded N5DIGITAL Inc.
And while this might seem like a radical departure from nuclear science,
right,
I think it actually reveals a consistent thread in his journey.
Okay.
A drive to apply his knowledge to solve real-world problems no matter what form they take.
So what exactly does N5DIGITAL do?
From what I've gleaned, they're not exactly building nuclear reactors anymore.
They're involved in an incredibly diverse range of projects.
Fitness and physical therapy equipment, educational math applications,
digital content delivery systems,
even miniature underwater propulsion systems. It's like he took all that intellectual firepower
and aimed it at a whole new set of challenges.
It's almost overwhelming.
But it also speaks to a certain fearlessness.
A willingness to dive into the unknown and see what's possible.
It's like he's saying, if I can help prevent nuclear meltdowns and secure loose nukes, I can probably figure out how to build a better underwater drone.
Right. Exactly. And I think that's what makes his story so compelling.
It's a reminder that expertise isn't just about specializing in one narrow field.
It's about developing a mindset.
a way of approaching problems.
That can be applied to any challenge.
So what would you say is the most remarkable thing
about Neymotin's entrepreneurial ventures?
Is it the diversity of the projects, the innovative technology?
Or something else entirely?
For me, it's the underlying thread that connects all these seemingly disparate endeavors.
He's still a problem solver.
Still driven by a desire to make a positive impact on the world.
It's just that the canvas has expanded.
The tools have diversified, and the possibilities seem limitless.
And that brings us to the most recent chapter of his career.
It's hard to believe we've covered so much ground already.
I know.
But there's still more to unpack.
What are your thoughts as we move into this final phase of Lev Neymotin's story?
I'm struck by the sheer audacity of his journey.
From the depths of nuclear science to the frontiers of entrepreneurship.
He's constantly pushed the boundaries of what's possible.
It makes you wonder what's next.
What other challenges will he take on?
What other mountains will he climb?
It's the kind of story that leaves you feeling inspired and energized.
Eager to see what unfolds in the next chapter.
And we'll delve into that next chapter right after this. All right, we are back and ready to wrap up our exploration of Lev Neymotin's incredible career.
From nuclear science to international security to entrepreneurship.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has, and I think what's most striking
is how each chapter of his story builds upon the last.
It's not a series of disconnected achievements.
Right.
It's a tapestry woven from a consistent set of skills values.
And a relentless drive to make a difference.
You know, when I first saw that he had become a CEO,
I thought, okay, this is where he finally settles down.
Puts his scientific adventures behind him.
And focuses on the business world. But it seems like that's not really his style, is it?
Not at all.
Even within the realm of entrepreneurship.
He's maintained that same spirit of exploration and innovation.
N5DIGITAL isn't just a company. It's a platform for him to pursue a wide range of interests.
Right.
From developing cutting-edge fitness technology to creating educational apps.
That make math more engaging.
It makes you wonder what drives someone like that.
Is it a thirst for knowledge, a need to solve problems?
Or maybe just a deep-seated curiosity about the world and all its possibilities.
I think it's a combination of all those things.
But there's also a clear sense of purpose.
A desire to use his knowledge and skills to make a positive impact.
Whether he's preventing nuclear proliferation or developing innovative new technologies.
There's always an underlying goal of improving lives and making the world a better place.
It's inspiring, to say the least.
And it makes me think about the potential that exists within each of us.
We might not all have the same level of expertise as Lev Neymotin.
But we all have unique skills and experiences that we can use to make a difference.
Absolutely. And I think Neymotin's story is a powerful reminder that it's never too late to reinvent yourself.
To pursue new passions.
Or to step outside your comfort zone and embrace new challenges.
His career path is anything but linear.
And yet there's a beautiful coherence to it.
A sense of purpose that shines through every twist and turn.
So as we wrap up this deep dive,
what's the key takeaway you want our listeners to walk away with?
What's the essence of Lev Neymotin's story?
I think it's a story about the power of combining deep expertise with boundless curiosity.
And a commitment to making a difference.
It's a reminder that knowledge isn't just about accumulating facts.
It's about applying those facts to solve real-world problems.
Right.
To build bridges between disciplines and to create a better future for all of us.
And what a story it is.
I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty inspired right now.
Lev Neymotin's career is a testament to the incredible things that are possible.
When we combine passion, purpose, and a willingness to embrace the unknown.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
It's a story that leaves you feeling hopeful, energized, and eager to see what the future holds.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive.
Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey through the life and work of Lev Neymotin.
We hope you learned something new, felt a spark of inspiration.
And maybe even discovered a new hero to admire.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning.
And keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.